Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सकगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सकगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। हरे कृष्ण। By the costless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, we are successfully studying Bhagavad Gita every day. And we finished 5 slokas in the 13th chapter, Nature, the Enjoyer, and Consciousness. So, Prakriti, Purusha. So, Arjuna asked the question, Prakriti, Purusham Chaiva, Kshetram, Kshetrajnam Evacha, Etad Veditum Ichami, Jnanam Nyayam Cha Kesam. Now, we know that this kshetra, this sarira is the kshetra, this body is the kshetra, that is the field of activities. And anyone who knows about this body is the kshetrajna. So, I am the kshetrajna of my body, you are the kshetrajna of your body, but Krishna is the kshetrajna of everyone's body, all bodies. Sarva kshetreshu bharata. So, sarva kshetreshu. Kshetrajnam chapi mam viddhi sarva kshetreshu. So, you understand it, I am the kshetrajna of all the bodies. That's what Krishna is saying. So, that way, in this chapter only we are going to even understand that Krishna is actually, the word Paramatma is coming in this chapter actually. Krishna himself says that I am Paramatma. Krishna is the super soul, Paramatma. So we are Atma, we are Jivatma in this material world with the material body. We are known as Jivatma because we are in the Jiva Bhuta status. So Krishna is Paramatma, Krishna is the super soul, and Krishna is there, everyone's heart. And who is there? Krishna is there. So that's why Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. So Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we need to understand. So that way everything belongs to Krishna. Everything is enjoyed by Krishna. Krishna is the enjoyer of all offerings. Bhuktaram yajna tapasa. And Krishna is the master of all the worlds. Krishna is the supreme controller of all the worlds. Sarvaloka Maheswaram. And Krishna is the well-wisher of everyone. Sugurdam Sarva Bhutesu. If anyone knows Krishna is all this, then he will achieve the peace of mind. So Krishna is saying that Jnatva Mam Shantim Richati. Anyone who knows that I am the enjoyer of all offerings. So, Bhuktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheswaram Surdam Sarvabhutanam Nyatva Mam Shantim Richadi. Just by knowing that Krishna is everything, we are going to get peace of mind. So, we will get peace of mind just by knowing about Krishna. That's it. So, knowing that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we are going to get peace of mind. That peace of mind brings happiness. There is no doubt. So that means for all of us, we believe in Krishna. We will depend on Krishna only for everything. And Krishna is giving us this knowledge, this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, which he gave to Arjuna. Krishna is actually teaching the same knowledge to us now. By his mercy, by Krishna's causeless mercy, we are able to study Bhagavad Gita every day. We are able to make progress. This nectar, this Bhagavad Gita is the knowledge actually which cleanses our heart, which cleanses our soul, and basically it frees us from this material bondage. So by Krishna's mercy, we are getting this knowledge, we are understanding each and every chapter, all these slokas, we understand very well. There is no doubt how to act, how to do our duty, we know very well. We should do everything as duty, as an offering unto Krishna. We know that very, very well. Everything should be done as an offering unto Krishna. We know that. So that way, our life we will be able to dedicate for Krishna. We'll be able to do everything for Krishna. So everything should be offered to Krishna and then it should be honored. So if that becomes our mindset, based on the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, if our goal settings, that all the time, actually business, they make goal settings every year. So our goal setting also we need to make. Our goal setting is simply only one goal setting. That's it. Only one objective. So that is to please Krishna. That's it. Nothing else. That should be our only main objective, is only to please Krishna. So to do everything the way Krishna likes it, the way Krishna wants it. So then only we will be able to please Krishna. So that means we know what Krishna wants it. So that means we need to know Bhagavad Gita. So by studying and understanding this Bhagavad Gita fully, we are able to hear from Krishna every day. Every time you study a sloka, Krishna is speaking to us. Krishna is instructing us, guiding us. In each and every sloka, we are getting the direct guidance from Krishna himself, directly. So that way, this Bhagavad Gita is everything for us. Our life should be based on this Bhagavad Gita knowledge only. And that way, we will be able to really make use of this human life, and we will be able to achieve peace of mind, and we will be able to enjoy unlimited happiness even in this life itself. In this life itself, we can actually conquer the birth. That's why ihaivataihi jitaga sargo. Ihaivataihi jitaga sargo yesam samye sthitam manaka nirdosham ki samam brahma tasmad brahmani te sthitaga. So in this life itself, ihaivataihi jitaga sargo yesam samye sthitam managa. We will be able to control our mind and conquer the repeated birth in this material world. Nirdoshamgi, we will be freed from all faults. Samam Brahma, we will become equal to Brahman. That's what Samam Brahma. So we will become like Brahman. So Nirdoshamgi Samam Brahma, Tasmat Brahmani Te Sitaga. So therefore they are situated in Brahman. So that's the opportunity we are getting in this Bhagavad Gita. By studying this Bhagavad Gita, we are getting that kind of opportunity to free ourselves from this material world in this life itself. So we will be able to make a very fast progress, very, very quick progress. Just by following what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, just by clearly understanding what Krishna is instructing us in this Bhagavad Gita, so just following his instructions. So we will be able to make a very quick progress. So we will be able to forget about everything in this material world, and we will be able to remember only Krishna all the time. So that way we can fully depend on Krishna. we can fully disconnect ourselves from this material veil. Because this material veil, everyone is controlled by the modes of nature. Everyone is forced to act by the modes of nature. So that way, this material world is so busy. So people are very busy and they don't have time. They have a lot of work to do because they are so much attached to this material world, material sense objects. If we also are like that, then we will also have a lot of work to do and we will not have any time to remember Krishna, and simply we will be wasting this human life. So this opportunity, we cannot miss it, we cannot lose it. So that's why by Krishna's mercy, we are able to continuously study this Bhagavad Gita and we are understanding everything. Krishna is teaching us very clearly. Krishna is revealing everything to us because Krishna is residing in our heart as the super soul. Krishna is Paramatma. Krishna is saying that I am seated in everyone's heart. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto. So from me comes remembrance, knowledge, forgetfulness, everything is coming from him. So this entire world itself is operating under Krishna's directions only. Krishna enters into each planet and by his energy everything is staying in orbit. Gamavisya bhutani dharayami agam ojasa. Pusnami chausadigi sarvaga somo bhutva rasatmaka. So Krishna gives the juice to all the vegetables. So as the moonlight. So Krishna is controlling everything. So aham vaisvanaro bhutva praninam degam ashritaga pranapanam samau kritva pranapanam samayuktaga pachamyannam chaturvidam. So Krishna is saying that I enter into each and everyone's body and I digest all the 4 kinds of food. So Krishna is saying that aham vaisvanaro bhutva praninam degam ashritaga pranapanam samayuktaga. So I maintain both incoming and outgoing air, prana, pana, samayuktaga, pachamyannam chaturvidam. So I digest 4 kinds of foods, chaturvidam. So Krishna is teaching. So the food we chew, swallow, lick. So there are totally 4 kinds of foods. So that way we need to actually follow what Krishna says. So that way we need to understand that Krishna is digesting our food. Krishna is doing everything. So we cannot simply think that I am great, I can do everything. So whatever I am doing is great. So like that. So that is not correct. So that is not at all correct. So we need to understand that Krishna is saying everything very, very clearly in this Bhagavad Gita. So we need to just follow. So some are drunk, the foods, four kinds of foods. So there are 4 kinds of food stuff. Some are drunk, some are chewed, some are licked up, and some are sucked. So that's what drunk, chewed, licked up, and sucked. So there are 4 kinds of food stuff. So Krishna is saying that pachami annam chaturvidam. So chaturvidam means these 4 kinds of foods. So I am digesting. So we are only eating. We are only eating. We are trying to taste. We are enjoying. We are thinking that we are enjoying. But once it gets into our stomach, once it gets not only into our stomach, once it gets into our mouth, so then it has to go through our esophagus to the stomach, and then it gets digested. Then it also, it's not completely, the digestion happens even in the small intestine, the foods, everything gets absorbed into our body. So everything happens. So then it goes through the small intestine, then everything. So finally, everywhere it is controlled, everywhere it is going. So Krishna's mercy, everything is acting, all these organs, they are doing it. We are not acting it. We are not making them to act. They are all under the control of the autonomic nervous system. So Krishna is saying that everything is actually happening by me. Everything, I am only doing everything. That's what Krishna is saying. So that way we need to understand that Krishna, who is the super soul, who is seated in our heart, and he is doing all these things. So that way everything is by perfect design. Our stomach can handle that acid, hydrochloric acid, so which is highly acidic. But when it gets into our esophagus, we get the heartburn. So our stomach can handle. So it's not supposed to get into our esophagus. So that way, everything is designed very nicely by Krishna's mercy. But what we are doing it, we think that everything is actually happening by us and I am great and I can do everything. So like that, we are actually, due to ahankara, we take it for granted. So that is the mistake we are doing. We simply take it for granted, and then we think that I am the great, I can do anything, so I don't have to listen to anyone, so I don't believe in Krishna. All such nonsense people say because they're ignorant. That's it. So Krishna is very clearly telling everything in Bhagavad Gita. He is the supreme personality of God. So we should be having the knowledge of this Bhagavad Gita. So then only we will be able to control our mind, make our mind as our best friend, and then we will be able to achieve peace of mind, and then only we will be able to experience unlimited happiness. All these things are going to happen only if we start believing in Krishna. If you have belief on this Bhagavad Gita, if you don't believe in Krishna, if you are not studying and understanding this Bhagavad Gita, so that means we are destined to suffer and struggle in this material world. So only distress is the only thing we will experience constantly. So that is the nature of this material world. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we got the opportunity to study Bhagavad Gita, and we are making use of this opportunity, and we are making great progress. So now Krishna is explaining about the Kshetra even in detail. So Krishna already told Arjuna that Tatsamasena Meshnu. So I will explain to you. So you hear from me. I will explain to you in summary. You hear from me. That's what Krishna said. So now in the 6th and 7th shloka, what we are studying today, Krishna is saying to Arjuna that in the 13th chapter, Mahabhutanyahangkaro buddhi avyaktam eva cha Indriyani dasaikam cha pancachendriya gocharaga ichadveshaga sukham dukkam sangatas chetanadriti yetat kshetram samasena savikaram udahritam. So Krishna is teaching here that etat kshetram samasyena. So this is what is kshetra in detail, in summary. So this is what etat kshetram samasyena. In summary, this is what is kshetra, savikaram, udahritam, and its interactions. So that's what Krishna is teaching. So here what Krishna is saying that in the 7th chapter, this shloka number 4th shloka, what did Krishna say? Bhumir apo analo vayu kam Mano buddhir evacha ahankaram itiyam me binna prakriti rasada. So, earth, water, fire, air, space, mind, intelligence, and false ego, all together these 8 elements are my separated natures. Binna prakriti. That's what Krishna said. So here Krishna is saying that those 5 of them, known as Panchaputa, just in one word, that is Mahabhuta. So Mahabhuta means it's all the great elements. Mahabhuta means great elements. So they are Pancha Bhuta. There are 5 of them. There is earth, water, fire, air, and space. Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Vayu, Kam. So Krishna is saying that Mahabhutani Ahankaro. So Ahankaro, Krishna in the 7th chapter, 4th sloka also, Krishna said Ahankaro. So Mahabhutani Ahankaro, Buddhir Avyaktam Evacham. So Buddhir means intelligence. So Avyakta is the unmanifested. So unmanifested means the unmanifested modes of nature. The 3 modes of material nature. The mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, they are unmanifested nature. So unmanifested means you cannot see them. You cannot feel with your senses. So that's why unmanifested, avyaktam. So Mahabhutani Ahankaro Buddhir Avyaktam Evacha. So if you can say 3 of them, so or if you say only one avyaktam, so Maya, modes of nature, or 3 of them, mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So that way this Mahabhutani 5 and Ahankara, that is 6th one, and 7th one is Buddhi, and then Avyaktam, so there is the 8th one. Then Indriyani Dasa Ekam Cha. So Indriyani Dasa Ekam. So Indriyani Dasa Ekam means it is 11. So 11 senses. So 11 senses means, so Dasa Ekam means 11. So there is 5 knowledge acquiring senses and 5 working senses. So the knowledge acquiring senses are known as Jnanendriyas and working senses are known as Karmendriyas. So the 5 knowledge acquiring senses are the sense of seeing, smelling, tasting, touching, and so hearing. So the sense of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. So these are all the 5 knowledge acquiring senses. So they are known as Jnanendriyas. And the karmendriyas, 5 karmendriyas, so that is the hands, legs, voice, anus, and genital. So these are all 5 karmendriyas which we are able to control. So they are known as our motor nerves. So motor nervous system. So somatosensory system and then motor nervous system in our body. So we are able to control. When I want to move my hand, I'm able to move. When I want to speak, I'm able to speak. So all those things. So similarly, this 5. So totally 10. Then Dasa Ekam means 11th sense is mind. So that's why Indriyani Dasa Ekam. In one sloka in the 15th chapter, Krishna is saying that Managa Sastani Indriyani. So there Krishna says that 6 senses including the mind. So Managa Sastani Indriyani. So there Krishna is actually this Karmendriyas Krishna is referring to. So those 5 senses and the Sastani Indriyani. So here Krishna is referring to all these 11 senses. So we need to understand that all these senses are made up of our body only, made up of matter. So in this material world, so our body is made up of matter. So this Indriyani Dasa Ekamcha. So totally 8 plus 11, it is 19. So that's what 8 plus 11 is 19. And Pancha Chendriya Gocharaga. Pancha Chendriya Gocharaga. So Pancha means 5. Indriya Gocharaga means the sense objects. So the Indriyas are going after them. So the senses are going after them. So that is their sense objects. That's what Pancha Chendriya Gocharaga. So totally now 24. So these 24 elements. So if you want to say there are 3 modes of nature instead of clubbing them together as Avyakta, if you want to say 3 modes of nature, so then you can say 26. So totally this 24 or 26. It's according to the way what we want to define. So these are all our body, our kshetra. And their interactions, what is happening with their interactions? There is savikaram, there is icha, dvesha, sukham, dukkam. So that means icha, desire, dvesha is hatred, and sukham, dukkam, of course, happiness, distress. Sukham, dukkam, sangataka, chetana, driti. So the aggregate of all those things, and chetana is the living symptom. So basically it's our consciousness. So that's what is chetana. Dritiki means it's the determination, conviction. So that is what dritiki. So all these together, everything is etat kshetram samasena. So they are all, in summary, they are what is kshetra. Etat kshetram samasena. Savikaram udakritam. So and its interactions are. So this is what is kshetra and their interactions. So Krishna is explaining about our body, mind, senses, intelligence, everything. In the 3rd chapter also Krishna said that Indriyani parani agu, Indriyebhya param managa, manasastu para buddhi, yo buddhe paratastu sagam. So the senses are superior to dull matter, mind is above the senses, and intelligence is above the mind, and the soul is above the intelligence. So that way we are understanding that these 24 great elements are the 24 together, all these things together, they are the part of our body. So our body is made up of these things. So what we study and understand in the books related to medicine, we just study about the body and how it functions and different systems in our body, the physiological systems and anatomy and all such things, and when drug interaction. So that way we prescribe medicine and we take medicine, all such things. But we need to understand it. Mind is there, senses, intelligence, and ahankara, all these things we need to understand. Without knowing all those things, we are simply going to die and again take birth in this material world. Again forced to accept another body. That's what is going to happen. So Krishna is saying that the 5 great elements, false ego, intelligence, the unmanifested, the 10 senses, and the mind, the 5 sense objects, desire, hatred, happiness, distress, the aggregate, the life symptoms, and convictions, all these are considered in summary to be the field of activities and its interactions. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished 2 slokas today in the 13th chapter. That is sloka number 6 and 7. Hare Krishna. I will stop now and we'll discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna.